Hey, I just really wanted to do this super quick video about, sorry, my hand's all in your face, sorry, language, just super quickly, because I looked at pages 163 and 164, so those that handed them in, I graded over them so that you can see them. So go over those maybe even before you do, well, definitely go over those before you do your test, so that will help you kind of be in that mode. One of the things that we did pretty well on 163, but some of you weren't quite getting what it was asking, okay? So it's just reminding you at the top, that was the remember, add ER when you're comparing two nouns, add EST, remember 3 EST, 2 ER. David is older than Stephen. David is the oldest boy in our class, okay? And then you use the words more and most when it's long. So some of you were saying Nathan's pillow is most fluffy. There's more fluffy. But we're not going to use more fluffy. Why? Because fluffy is a shorter word. So we're going to say fluffier. And remember, when it's a short vowel sound, what do you have to have? Double consonants. F-L-U-F-F-I-E-R. Fluffier. Okay? And then remember, we changed that Y to an I. So if you don't spell it correctly, I will have to take off points, because that is part of the language, is that you have to spell it correctly. So F-L-U-F-F-I-E-R, because we don't use the Y once it's just like if we were to do our plurals. We change that Y to an I, okay? Then we don't use more, bigger, most, biggest, and then it gave you the bad, worst, worst, good, better, best. Dad's soup is hotter than my soup, because you're just comparing two, okay? Of all those elk, that elk has the, so some of you were putting like more and most. Don't put more and most. You're using the word in parentheses. So it says write the correct adjective in the blank for each comparison. So are you using, of all those elk, that elk has the larger or largest rack of antlers. So fix those if you did get those wrong. Looking carefully, there is going to be one that's going to look a little bit different than the others. So that's your hint. I'm not going to, because some people need to make corrections. So go back and check those, page 163, carefully. We did pretty well with our sentences, but smaller. Some of you said that dog is smaller than all the rest. Remember, we can't say smaller than all, because that's comparing three or more. So that dog is the smallest, okay, of all of them. But that dog is smaller than my dog or than my cousin's dog. So that's what, think carefully. And then it's not kindness, kindest. So think of something where you're comparing someone with three or more, okay? And then you're going to use kindest in there. Then page 164, there were a lot of missed things on there, because we're not doing every single noun and every single adjective. We're still missing the littles. A and the, or say it. A and the, say it again. A and the, say it again. A and the. Every time you see an A, an and, or a the, they're usually going to be right in front of those nouns. So if you circle or box or whatever you're supposed to do with those nouns, or underline the nouns, look in front of it. If you see a and the, circle that as an adjective. We're still missing those. Those little words are important. They are adjectives. So please look at that carefully. So some of you missed some of the words in there. Another one that we missed, Ryan's. Is Ryan's a name? Ryan is the name, but Ryan's with an apostrophe S. Whenever you see an apostrophe S, third grade, that is an adjective with an not every time, but for a name. When it's somebody's name with an apostrophe S, it's an adjective. Why? because it's talking about possession. They own that thing. So they are describing whose that is. So whose wagon? Ryan's. Some of you were saying blue Ryan's. Ryan's blue. Blue is a noun. And it's describing Ryan. And nouns can't describe adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. Do we understand that? I wanted to do this video really quickly to make sure that you're understanding Ryan's wagon, whose wagon, and what kind of wagon? Blue wagon. Okay. And then at the end, wheel. And what kind of wheel? Broken. And is always an adjective. Okay. So please look at those carefully because I just made the corrections for you. So look at that. Then letter B, think B. You were just supposed to circle the adverb. So underline the verb and then circle the adverb and draw a line. So, and it tells you, so look for the verb in the sentence, underline that. Then it asks how often. Don't circle how often. Circle what word in the sentence tells you how often grandmother prays. Prays how often? And then if you read the sentence, you'll see words in there, some of them that end in ly. Okay, so please look at that section again as well, because that's all going to prepare you for your test. So before you take your test, please review over pages 163, 164. And then we did pretty well when you're doing jump how, lazily, quickly, softly, okay? Give, because some were like jump fast. Well, I get what you mean, but sometimes if we are not careful, that ends up being more of an adjective than an adverb. But that one was fine. And then when, tomorrow, today, yesterday, a day of the week is okay, but it's not really giving that true, like yesterday I jumped. Okay. She jumps daily. She jumps every day. Okay. Something like that. So just think those through and look at that before you take your test and then get ready to smash that test because I know you can. All right. I'll see you in a little bit.